So I'm going to start off back in 2003. Bentley revealed the Continental GT Coupe at the Geneva Auto Show. This car was stunning. All right, this is the car that designers drew on like napkins when they were on the phone and no one was watching, right? And I was lucky enough to be there at the show. And after the press and everybody kind of moved on to the next conference, I went up on stage and introduced myself to their interior designer, Robin Page. I think he spoke at the last awards conference earlier this year. Really nice guy, fantastic host. Walked me through the GT's interior in great detail. 6 species of wood, those really cool push-pull knobs for closing off the air vents. Leather that was so soft it made you blush. There's one thing that he said to me that really stuck, and that was, well, we don't want the customer to ever touch plastic in a Bentley. I mean, I looked at him like he was speaking another language, right? I mean, back then at GM, everything was plastic. There was no place you could touch that wasn't. Even the leather had so much plastic on it, you really couldn't feel that it was leather. Now, of course, not to be annoying or anything, but to his great dismay, I then pointed out all the little touch points that were still plastic in his new car, and that Bentley owners had to suffer through in their ownership experience. Every single one of them was an electronic control. In fact, that was the only plastic. And he kind of shrugged and said, yeah, we really didn't have any choices there. It seems technology did not get the Bentley memo. Fast forward to the present. Now phones and laptops are made out of billet milled aluminum and glass, right? This Bang & Olufsen infotainment system for your home has this beautiful formed wood faceplate. There's a little touch wheel in there to bring the volume up or down. It's great. It's beautiful. It's a work of art. The funny part is, on the back side of it, there's a touch screen. I mean, that's not even what they advertise. It's like, oh, by the way, it does come with a touch screen to operate the controls. Because screens really aren't luxurious anymore, right? Not to this buyer, right? There's a touch screen at every ATM. There's a touch screen at my gas pump. There's a touch screen everywhere. Not that impressive, right? So my first point is materials matter, all right? Now there's beautiful materials in vehicles, just about every vehicle, right? There's a Cadillac here, it's got ultra suede and real leather cut and sewn. It's got dark olive ash veneer, which is painfully expensive. It's got real carbon fiber and multiple finishes of aluminum. I mean, it's nice, right? The touch points, still all plastic for the user interface. If you want a really nice truck, Ford will sell you one of these F-150 Limiteds for well over $60,000, right? It's got furniture-grade leather. It's got cut and sewn instrument panel. It has this really cool wood that has kind of a burnishing, just like you'd see in a Gibson guitar. Beautiful stuff, expensive stuff. But all the touch points, still plastic. So, while we're talking about Ford, so let's look at Ford's lineup here for a second, right? It's an impressive lineup, right? A vehicle for everyone. I mean, we could be looking at a Toyota or Chevy product lineup, not to pick on Ford, but you'd see the same thing. A vehicle for everybody. And while they're all Fords, each one of them has its own personality, and it kind of reflects the personalities of each buyer, right? I mean, each one of these vehicles has its own individual demographics, right? Age, gender, life stage, political views. I mean, this is a diverse enough portfolio where some of these owners probably really hate other owners for buying that car instead of my truck. All right, one size does not fit all. Not in sheet metal, not in powertrain, not even in color, right? How can one user interface emotionally connect with all these people? But that's what most of us are tasked to do. Let's talk about color here for a second while we're on the subject of color. Color is very personal. A lot of effort goes into creating new paints and new colors to capture the attention of buyers and allow them to express themselves as individuals, right? But imagine if we took these choices away, right? What color would you choose, right? Probably not orange. I love orange. but probably not the one you choose. It's probably going to be silver or white or black, maybe not even black. Well, that sounds crazy to us, right? That's like we're going back to the Model T. That's really what we've done with UI. And the result is a lot of safe color work here. In fact, a lot of the same color work here, a sea of sameness. Now, I'll tell you, we didn't all infotainment designers around the world didn't all get together at designer night at the Paris Auto Show and say, let's agree on black, white, and blue. Like nothing else. But it kind of looks like we did. So that's a little tough. If infotainment is such a key brand attribute, why do they all look so similar? These color screens are kind of expensive. And when you buy the color screen, you get to use the whole wheel if you want. You're not just paying for blue and white. So it's time to really start exploring what is your brand about with color, right? Or allow people some choices within your brand.